All right, the city of Johannesburg, South Africa's economic hub, stands at a critical juncture faced with a looming financial crisis characterized by unfunded 2.1 billion rand budget gap, dwindling cash reserves, as well as mounting debt to state utilities. The municipality's stability is under severe strain. Amidst these systematic challenges, the city has secured a 3.8 billion rand loan from the German Development Bank, KfW, to revitalize its struggling electricity utility, City Power. Joining us is DA caucus leader in the city of Johannesburg, Belinda Kayser-Echeozonjoku. A very good evening to you, Belinda. Thank you for your time. Now, what's your response to the sheriff of the court seizing assets at a customer service center today? This happened, it's a development that happened just earlier today.
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers. Well, it's an absolute disgrace that the city of Johannesburg, which is supposed to be the economic hub of the continent, is having to deal with its assets being attached by the sheriff of the court. Yesterday, in fact, some of these happened yesterday. I believe the video circulating was only going out today, but it happened yesterday already. The officials that I inquired from some of the sources inside of the city of Joburg informed me that the city of Joburg owes the landlord, which is Bayete Capital, about a couple of million rand. And there's a dispute because Bayete Capital also owes the city money for rates and services. And that is what, how the dispute arose. One of the concerning facts this afternoon, I found out earlier this evening, is that the fact that the Bayete Capital owes the city, and we know that any person or company who owes the city money should not be doing business with the city. And I'm just wondering how the city managed to get, Bayete Capital has been able to owe the city approximately, allegedly about close to 40 million rand, and nothing has been done about that. So it's a big concern, and it's an absolute disgrace that the city of Johannesburg, was obviously led by the ANC, is having to experience this for everybody else to watch.
So not only is the city owing Bayete Capital, but Bayete Capital owes the Bayete Capital, you say, owes the city 40 million rand.
Yeah, that's the information that I've received from sources just earlier this evening, which we were not aware of earlier, when we found out about that the sheriff of the court has attached the properties, assets from the city, from Tuso House. And that is why one has to ask ourselves, how did a company or individuals, that have a dispute in this manner is able to do business with the city? Just to give you a bit of background, last year in 2025, May, I have written to the presidency and to the SIU to request information about, to request for an investigation into the maladministration and the financial, mismanagement of JPC, which at the time was obviously under Helen Buttus as well. So a lot of these contracts and things go back some time back, and this has been coming on for years. So we're not surprised that this is happening. For me, it's just questioning the timing of this attachment while the city is also going through financial distress. And at the same time, officials are telling us they are being pressured to pay Bayete despite this dispute.
Sure. All right, so that's something that, has to be looked into, of course. If Bayete is already owing such a large amount of money, why are they still operating in the city? But you speak about the city also just being beset with a number of problems. How can they then justify taking this new loan with the KfW facility? Is it a strategic investment in your view?
Well, one of the issues we raised when the loan was brought to council is the fact that it is for city power and it has specific, it had to be ring fenced. And the DA had, when we were approached by the city for support of the loan, we've actually put in quite a bit of conditions for us to support the loan. One of the conditions was obviously that money meant for electricity and need to be ring fenced, and that they acceded to that request. The other condition that we have put in was that there must be stronger oversight in the form of, we know that this was subsidized, this loan is subsidized by the German government, and the German government has also allocated a project manager to make sure that the loan is utilized for what it's meant to be, which gives us as councillors the opportunity to also look at whether all the conditions that is attached to the loan, including the monitoring and evaluation from the German Development Bank and the German government who's subsidizing this, is being adhered to. So all those conditions, we've also asked for salary freezes of city power senior executives for the duration of the loan. The city has come back to give us an assurance, and it's in the recommendations of the report that salaries will be frozen for 2 years, which we agreed to because at least it gives us the opportunity that money that is ring-fenced and the monitoring of how the money is being spent can be done. So the fact that it's ring-fenced is assisting already because we can then hold them accountable for how the money is being spent.
All right, so you are essentially satisfied about the oversight, the plan for oversight of this 3.8 billion rand?
100%. And the fact that this is ring-fenced, you know, obviously as the Democratic Alliance, we believe that money meant for services should be spent on services, money meant for water should be spent on water, money meant for electricity should be spent on electricity. And the fact that this is ring-fenced is giving us an opportunity to do proper oversight over it. Over this particular loan, yeah.
Sure. Belinda, from what I understand is that there is a shortfall. I mean, the loan is only worth 3.8 billion rand, but there will be a shortfall of some 30 billion rand to ensure that there is maintenance at City Power, as well as the infrastructure, new infrastructure can be erected. Where is that money going to come from, seeing as the city should be generating some 90% of their own revenue and they're currently not doing that?
Well, it's one of the things that we are looking at as the Democratic Alliance. We've got members of the Finance Committee that is scrutinizing exactly what is being done to obviously increase the revenue collection. You've seen recently City Power has also said that there are government departments that are not being held accountable. So we expect the city to be able to look at that. What is a bigger concern for us is the warning from the Minister of Finance that had given the city a deadline and indicating that it will be withholding the city's equitable share for July. And that is the biggest concern we have at the moment. And the city was supposed to have responded, the mayor was supposed to have responded to the minister. And we are told by the officials that they have given the mayor everything that they need to give him to respond to the minister. So we are waiting to hear, because I'm sure you've seen our mayoral candidate, Helen Zille, this afternoon saying the mayor needs to give the residents some answers. We want to know from the executive mayor, what is the plan with Eskom, what is the agreement, and have they come to some sort of agreement, or is the residents of Joburg going to be cut off? And also the mayor needs to explain to us, has he responded to the Minister of Finance with regards to the concerns raised by the minister?
Yeah, I mean, something else that Treasury has done is also warned about that, and you've done the same as well, warning about that proposed 10 billion rand sum wage deal, saying that it is unaffordable and potentially illegal. How have you then tried to stop it from going ahead?
Look, the DA is on record having said that we don't agree with the politically facilitated agreement, And we're also on record, our mayoral candidate has been very, very vocal about the fact that we are taking the city to court. And also, we have sent the mayor questions, and I'm sure you've seen the letter that has been widely circulated in our statement as well, that we've reported the mayor and the MMC of Group Corporate and Shared Services for basically insisting on an unaffordable politically facilitated agreement, which the city officials themselves are telling them that it's not affordable. And the mayor is basically, despite the fiscal framework and the financial turnaround plan that was passed in council on the 24th and 25th of June, he's gone to instigate SAMO, met with them at the ANC headquarters, and he's on video telling them, making a commitment that he knows that is unaffordable and will not be able to be done. We've written to the MEC of Cllr to investigate whether the mayor is either deliberately destabilizing the city, because we believe that the ANC is just using this as an election tool to be able to get the SAMO workers to assist them with electioneering and making promises to settle their internal factional battles in the city of Johannesburg. And as the DA, we've said, and we've been on record, we are not going to allow residents of Johannesburg and their funds that they are paying to the city to be used as a political tool for the ANC to have electioneering before the 4th of November. We all know that the ANC is on the back foot and they are not going to come back as the ruling party in Johannesburg. We know that it will be a DA government, and we know that they are trying everything possible at the moment to destabilize the city of Johannesburg. So any future government that comes in is going to have to deal with a lot of instability. But we are not going to just leave it at that, and that is why in my letter to the MEC, we have asked for an investigation, but we will not stop. If we need, we are gathering evidence at the moment about instigation that is happening behind the scenes. And these are from sources within SAMO that are telling us how the ANC is busy instigating behind the scenes, despite the warnings from the minister.
All right. Belinda, thank you very much for your time. That's caucus leader in the city of Johannesburg, Belinda Kayser-Echeozonjoku.